Do you have enough light in your life? Are you soaring in the joy around you? Are you stuck and unable to make life happen? Stay tuned for the Rabbi Jenny Show, where you will learn how to bask in the light and find more joy and meaning in life. Call to talk to Rabbi Jenny at 888-565-1470 and email questions and comments at rabbijenny.com. And now, if you're ready, stay tuned for the Rabbi who will light your world on fire, Rabbi Jenny.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. It's Rabbi Jenny. We are here in the studio. I'm really excited to be here. We want to remind you that we are live on Facebook, and you can reach us at 1470 AM in Boca. You can also get us at 95.3 FM. And you can check us out on the iHeartRadio. You can download the app on your phone and listen to us wherever you are. It's really, really good to be here. We're going to remind you on the Rabbi Jenny Show, we have two main ideas that we take through everything we do and everything that we bring to the show. And these two main ideas are this. The first one is the world is happening for you and not to you. And that's 100% of the time. Everything in your life is happening for you and not to you. And why that is because you, my friend, are a piece of divine love, light, creative energy, and you are always expanding and you are always growing. So whatever is going on in your life is expanding you and growing you, despite how it might look and might feel. So we go with that theory because we are not victims in our lives. We are the heroes, warriors, the empowered souls of this universe, so we can become that tikkun olam, or that one light. Desk is a little messy on the show today, feeling very rabbi-like. I got lots of papers and lots of research. This is an exciting topic. Our topic today is the joy and magic of delegating and elevating yourself to a bigger, greater position and elevating others by sharing responsibility and sharing your power. And our inspiration this week is the story of Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses. This is such a great story, and we're really going to go into the Hebrew alphabet a little bit today, like we do sometimes, because it's a code. And if you know anything or you don't know anything, I'm going to explain it to you. The first 5 books of Moses are the actual things written down in that scroll that if you are not Jewish, you see rabbis carrying. It's the big scroll, and we guard it with our life, and we keep the eternal flame above it because it is very important. And is a code made up of 22 letters and certain words put in certain order for a reason. And I believe it's the code of the soul. From the moment God says, let there be light, from nothing to the moment the Israelites enter Zion, that is a code for our human journey. And right now, in this particular time in our human journey, Moses last week has set everybody free. We've run, we've parted the seas, we've made it. We're on the other side, and we are knee deep in living in the desert. That's what's going on. It's a bunch of people. You know, Moses, he got everybody out. And remember, that's the Moses in you, freed you, got you out of that situation you were in. But now you're like, oh, my God, I'm surrounded by all these people I barely know. My people, I guess, but I barely know any of them. But now I got to manage them. I got to manage this new life. And how am I going to manage this new elevation, this new level of abundance, this new level of freedom? How am I going to do it? Well, the lesson in today's portion comes through the character of Jethro, or the character person, whichever way you want to look at it, but the Hebrew word is Yitro, and it's Moses' father-in-law, and he comes to Moses because he sees that Moses is acting as judge in every situation for the people around him. So he's freed all of these people, and he's assumed a position of complete authority over all of them and taken on the responsibility of all of them. So he sees him, he says, son-in-law, why are you doing this, man? You're doing too much. A better way to do things is give other people some responsibility. You divide the role of judge amongst different men and women and let them act for you. Let them be the judges of their people. Begin to delegate. And it is such an important lesson because so often we have worked so hard, like Moses did. He worked really hard, man, bringing down the darkness and the blood and the water. Big work sometimes we do to break ourselves free and get ourselves to that next level of success. But then right at that moment, that's when the universe challenges us to let go. It challenges us to let people in, let people help. George Patton, he was an amazing general, and he said, don't tell people how to do things, tell them what to do, and let them surprise you with their results. And I love this theory of leadership because the idea is that Moses is going to say, okay, you be a judge, you be a judge, you be a judge. And what's going to happen is all of those people are going to judge differently, and everybody's going to learn, and there's going to be a variety of lessons and a variety of things that's going to help them expand, help the community get stronger and tighter, and giving people the power to be a part of is huge. And this is a very, very difficult lesson. I want to look at Jethro's name because remember, I always tell you all the characters in Torah are actually within you. Those letters are in you. Those 22 letters make up the 22 sacred pathways of your soul. You travel in them, you walk in them, they are you. So the letters that make up Jethro's name are really, really interesting. And the most interesting one this week for me, was the Tuf, which is in the middle. And the Tuf is the last of the alphabet, and it comes uniquely in between the letter for hand and the letter for head. Yud and Resh makes Jethro. And what that tells me is that in between our thoughts and our actions, here, when I was studying the Hebrew, what I wanted to take is this letter. This letter kept talking to me, this letter Tuf, and I wanted to kind of bring the T from it because when we talk about delegating and we talk about sharing, trust is the number one quality that we need. We need to learn trust others. And when I was researching, listen, I'm telling you, I'm like messy desk, got the flooby dooby. I gotta tell you, trusting helps you suffer less. Okay, great quote. Now, Steve Jobs has a great quote too about trusting, and he's kind of a maniacal leader, but he says, I hope I can find, I'm going to keep looking for it. Here it is. This is a great quote about trusting from Steve Jobs. It is not tools you have faith in. Tools are just tools. They work or they don't work. It is the people you have faith in or not. So we have to learn to leap out for ourselves, but leap out for others. So what are we going to do this week using the inspiration of the story of Jethro, tapping into the Yitro inside of us to trust more? Where in your life is the universe asking you to get a little help from others? Where is the universe beckoning you to take the assistance so you can expand and grow into freedom and get to Zion? Remember, this is they're free. They made it out. So you've made something huge in your life, and it's time. Somebody has seen the signal. Somebody has seen the light, and they're trying to reach out to you, and they're trying to get to you. And this is the signal from Torah this week to trust and allow others to assume their power, to use their creativity, because when people use their power and creativity and have a similar vision than you, everybody gets better. Remember, we talked about the 3 C's in an earlier week. We talked about this idea of collaboration and cooperation and community, that we're no longer competing with each other anymore, folks. Those days are over. We are one. It is time to come together and see that if we are all better, then we're all better, right? Is this a we thing? This is a we thing. I was watching this movie. It's actually one of my favorite movies, okay? This movie is one of my favorite movies. It is called The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. You might have seen this movie, but it is a perfect example of this idea of trusting others and letting them help you become a better human being. Now, it doesn't have to always be about business. This can be being a better human being in your heart. Remember, Moses symbolizes letting your emotions run free, getting across that sea and becoming a bigger and better person capable of loving more people, getting closer to more people. So sometimes this delegation is just allow people to give to you, allow people to give you a hug, allow people to care about you. By caring about you, a giving self is never a fragmented self. That's what Rabbi Joseph Gelberman said. Never, ever. We're always more united when we're in a state of giving. So what are we going to do this week to trust others? What are we going to do? So we're talking about the movie The Proposal. Again, little fluey. All right, so in The Proposal, this is the story. Sandra Bullock is this powerhouse businesswoman. Her assistant is Ryan Reynolds. She's like this terror. Absolute terror. She's like Pharaoh, actually, not like Moses. She doesn't let anybody in. Nope. I'm not letting anybody in. She lost her parents. She's not going to love anybody. She's going to make her way to the top. She's going to make her way to success, and she's not going to let anybody get in. And through a series of circumstances, she's going to be deported to Canada, and she has to convince her assistant, Ryan Reynolds, to marry her and lie and do all this stuff. But in this whole story, what you see is this woman allowing someone, delegating the ability to care. Because I want you to think about this. I want you to wrap your heads around this. This isn't always about business. When we talk about allowing others to judge for us, when we allow others to think for us, to feel for us, it's actually a metaphor for allowing people into our heart, letting people be there for us, letting people see who we really are. That takes a lot of courage. And so I want to encourage you, my listeners, with the spirit of the Yitro inside of you, to know, like the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, you've completed all of the other 21 letters. You know that you're connected to life. You know that you're a piece of divine love, light, energy, and you know you are safe, and you can have faith in that and allow others to help you. Because by doing that, it will elevate you to a level you did not even expect. And sometimes it's really, really scary. So I do not want to make it seem like it's a small deal, folks. This is no small deal. And I really do know that I'm talking to somebody. This is no small deal, letting people help you, letting people in. This is the big leagues. But people who we see on TV, people who achieve great things, they always have a machine of people around them, helping them. And everybody's interconnected because it's a we thing. You know, we have to learn to delegate. And the greatest thing, though, is that if you look at it from a visual perspective, okay, if you're here and everybody's here, and then you get here and they get here, and then you get here and they get here, and you get here, and then under them, more and more people, everybody is rising up. Everybody is getting better. There's no threat. You know, we're so used to like that competition thinking, either or, me or you. That's very lower mind. It's not either or, my friends, now. It's and. No more either or, no more black or white. We're in gray now. We've made it to gray land. I was talking to our guests, very excited about our guests. I was talking about how small the world is actually becoming. And it's funny, the internet, technology has made the world extremely small. But in doing that, it's creating these networks of people that is an unusual feeling. It's like, oh my God, it's challenging us on all sorts of levels of trust. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle this? How are you going to handle all of this contact that you're getting? Are you going to rise to it and trust that everything's okay? Are you going to hide away in fear? And I'm telling you, it's going to come get you, because we are weaving a web of love and light right now on this planet that is not going to wait for anybody. So if you're not on board and on that web, you're just going to, I don't know. You're going to be in a little bit of pain. A little bit of pain. So the message today comes from Jethro, and it comes about we're going to delegate more. We're going to reach out to help us, not just in business, but in our personal lives, in our emotional lives, in our cycle, our thoughts. Tell people how you're thinking. Tell people how you're feeling. Let them in. So you're going to trust others. You're going to trust yourself. And you're going to trust your divine. Because Yitro, the father-in-law, the wise elder who came to Moses and said, listen, you flow really good, buddy, but you're going to burn yourself out. You got to let other people help you. That's that message. So whoever's listening right now, I want you to think about this. I want you to get real honest for this week. What areas of your life can you be reaching out and allowing others to help you? Could you be delegating more? Where do you not want to let go? Do you not want to let go of things at work? Do you not want to let go of things at home? Do you not want to let go emotionally? Do you not want to let go of certain personal relationships? You're not allowing those people to rise to a certain level. Think about all these areas today. As we go through today's show and we listen to our guests and we listen to all that we're accomplishing and all the things that you can do when you're true to your heart, I want you to think about that. Where could my heart grow? Where could everything become bigger and better? And where could I become more free? If I just held hands and allowed others into my life. Thanks. We'll be right back. It's Rabbi Jenny. Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from the Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin. The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net. You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Hey, welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny. We are talking about the joy of delegating. I'm reminding you that you are love, light, energy, and you're waiting to expand and grow. So make sure that you reach out and ask others for help and actually allow others to help. Allow others and empower others to become more, because it will only elevate you. And now it is time for the Bad Mama Jamma. Rabbi Jenny. So my best friend, she's calling me during my radio show. Great, right? Hey, it's Rabbi Jenny. We are here with Lynn Robbins. Welcome, Lynn Robbins.
Thank you, Rabbi Jenny. It's so nice to be here.
So exciting to be here. We have so much to talk. We're going to switch kind of gears right now, as Lynn is an incredibly creative woman. She has two actually main projects that she's been working on, and we're going to go into both of those. Gosh, it's like where do we start? Lynn, I want you to tell everybody about, first of all, this idea of tree hearts. What are tree hearts that you've created? What is this tree hearts?
These tree hearts are so unique. I usually walk every day to ground with Mother Earth. I go to the ocean and walk, and I stumbled across this tree, just being very present in my walks, meditating, and I kept finding these little hearts that were on the ground. They were like these. There was like little brown pods like this, like little hearts. In my mind, immediately, I thought, "Oh my God, love!" Right?
Right.
And I thought that would be so unique to paint these pods and work with children. I love children.
Yeah.
Work with children, to have them paint them with me and raise funds for all sorts of different children's charities. So that was my intention. And when I saw these hearts, so they come in all different sizes. They come in ones, twos. This is the double heart. I have a whole thing.
This is so cool. These are so cool, everybody.
Yeah, this fell. There's 4 of them on this one.
That's amazing.
Amazing, right? Yeah,
and are those painted by you, or these are yours?
These are painted by me. Yeah,
those are beautiful.
I have a little bit of artistic ability.
Yeah,
I took some classes.
I want to let the
So-
listeners know that you go to heartsfromnature.com because Lynn paints these herself, but she also has the ability to come do these with kids at charities and
Yes.
talk about the Place of Hope and the event you had there.
Yeah, so the Place of Hope in Boca Raton, I set up a little event there for the children, and we didn't. It wasn't a fundraiser. We were just having fun painting them, but that's what I want to raise funds for. For their foster children looking for a home. So those kinds of events are very near and dear to my heart. So that was just it was a blessing, really a blessing to see their creativity and having fun. Changing their day.
When people go to heartsfromnature.com, can they purchase hearts and that money will go towards a charity? Or
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So like a single heart is $20, a double heart is $40, and a triple heart is $60. It's just doubled with the hearts. That's how we work it. So
That's
yeah.
cool. So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about you, Lynn. Talk to the listeners
So-
about you. Obviously a creative lady, but tell us a little bit about your background and then we'll go into your other company.
Yeah, well, my background is I'm really into sales. I've been in sales for 20-something years, but I always wanted to create something that I could share with the universe in a healthful way because I'm passionate about health and wellness, and I've followed that lifestyle for a very long time. And I always thought I was going to develop like a health food little bar or something healthy to munch on.
Right.
And get it in Whole Foods or something. But my path took me to natural deodorant. So I got this idea to create a natural deodorant. I wasn't happy with what I was using. I was bored with what I was using. And I looked in my cupboard one day and I said, there's got to be a different, I've got to create something. I don't know. I've just got to figure this out, So I came up with a really simple blend of three simple ingredients, zinc-based, with essential oil blends that smell like winter, spring, summer, and fall. They're all uniquely blended. It's unisex, and it's very safe and effective for our body because, we know that a lot of the antiperspirants out on the market today
Yes.
have chemicals.
Yes.
And it's very, it wreaks havoc on our body, it goes right into our lymph nodes. And, so being conscientious of that, I had to create this, and this is where I'm at with it now. So people are happy. It's working.
No, it's amazing. It's funny. About a year ago, I just stopped using the aluminum deodorants. I don't know, and I stopped. It was just like one might say an intuitive decision, but I went to the Whole Foods and I used the very not very effective, very healthier versions of deodorant. So this idea of creating these scented essential oils for people to have that are healthy, because I do honestly believe that the aluminum and certain things that are going through the regular deodorants are causing a lot of harm in the body. I mean, it's been proven and
Linked to, studies have shown that it's linked to, breast cancer and Alzheimer's. So a lot of these patients have to be very careful of what they are choosing and read the labels at the stores.
So talk about, I want before you go into the ingredients, I want to talk about the idea of what kind of person, because you're obviously an unbelievable woman.
Thank you.
And it goes to our topic today. We want to keep that for the listeners. But what kind of a person, here's a notion in your medicine cabinet and takes the steps, like talk to the listeners about what that took to it's like we say, well, I decided I was going to make a deodorant and I put but talk about all the challenges you've had as far as like letting, research and letting because I mean, honestly, they're beautiful, and I just want to hear more about the process of actually creating it.
Yes, I really feel like I've been led, and I feel like this past year I've stepped into my power to honor myself and follow my creativity and my heart with what I want to do. I mean, creating a deodorant line is from scratch is creative.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and I just went step by step, not knowing how it was going to turn out or anything, but I just kept going with all my ideas that were flowing in, and this is where I'm at now. I have little travel-sized deodorants. They're TSA approved for travel, and It's just unisex for guys and girls. It's cool. You want to smell?
I
one
do.
of them?
I
This
do.
is the winter blend.
This is winter, which has what in the winter blend?
Winter is like a
Oh.
peppermint orange. There's a variety of essential oils. Like there's a list of them in each one. They're
my
all
goodness.
they're all unique. However, I suggest this one for summer because we're so hot. This cools down.
Oh my God.
Cools down our body in the summer.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the next
And
one?
then the
We're going to
spring-
try all of these. This is
yeah.
awesome.
The spring is like a lavender geranium. That's a popular one. Yeah, that's a popular one.
What else we got? What
then
we got?
summer is it's like patchouli,
Oh,
grapefruit,
the hippie.
orange. That's
hippie
really
scent.
refreshing. They're stimulating and invigorating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I have one that's kind of masculine. It's a fall basil blend. Most of the men like this one, kind of like reminds you of the mountain.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so
Well, these are amazing. And can you
Yeah.
mix them? Can you like
you
just
sure
you
can.
just-
Absolutely. I mean, people don't always use them for deodorants.
I was gonna say,
they
this
just
is
use them
like-
for like a little scent,
Little
a perfume
scent.
scent. Yeah, just to freshen up during the day
and whatever's
during
in
your
them
travels.
won't hurt you. It's not.
Exactly. Yeah, it's aluminum free, paraben free. It's totally all natural, and it's
Oh,
the
that's-
shelf life is 2 years.
Wow, that's amazing. And what does this cost?
A 4-pack is $20.
Wow.
Yeah, so you get you get your money's worth
And
because
how
they do last. You know, a bottle could last a month. If
I was going to say it must last a long time.
yeah, so yeah, it's a good value you get.
Wonderful. And how do the listeners, where do they go to order these adorable
online.
little things?
Yeah, on my website, it's linsfourseasons.com.
Sorry,
That's okay.
I don't like smell all of them. Oh my goodness. But even the logo, like Lynn, talk to the listeners because we're talking to the listeners about deciding on logos and colors. And, there could be some people out there who have like that idea and
Yes.
think, I'm not going to get step 1 to step 2 to step 3. So how did you decide on this beautiful logo? It's actually a woman leaping if you can see it. But
Yes.
did someone help you? Did you get an
You know
artist
what?
involved?
I looked for logos and I wanted to spread the word like she's flying, I'm free, I'm sharing. However, I'm working on a new graphic right now.
Okay.
But it's almost the same thing with a female on a leaf with nature. I love nature, obviously, with the
And are
hearts,
you
but-
drawing it yourself or you?
No, this one I did find, but I searched for this because I loved her feathers and her freedom. It's freedom. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And-
Well,
and-
that's-
and the second one I'm going to be introducing and changing is like that too.
Oh, that's cool.
But it just shows the winter, spring, summer, fall icons much better. That's why I'm changing it.
But you got help to do that, right?
Well, no, I went online. I looked. I had no help to find it. I just kind of searched online for
Wow.
logos and I found it. But it's like a universal one. So now I have one that I just found a graphic designer to help
See,
me.
that's what I mean. That's where I'm going.
No, exactly. I needed help. I said I need help with this to bring this to the next level, and that's what I just did. I had to ask and find someone to help me, and it was wonderful to receive her help. I was so thankful because I'm really happy with what I'm turning it into next.
But I love that because that's a great, we're going to bring it back as we do for the listeners. I want to bring that back because look at all you did. You broke free. You broke out. Like you made something completely new that nobody's ever made. But once you got to the other side of those seas, now you have to reach out for that graphic designer and take it to like where it needs to go. And I love that about life, that these consistent themes continue to come.
Yes, and I treated the project as a fun project, creative project. See where this goes, and just take it day by day. And the website, I'm not a website person, and I'm not technical, but I kind of put it together. But now I am going to go to the next level, and I'm going to need to get help to bring that to the next level, to another platform.
And it's being
So-
open. And I love that idea of like if you bring joy to it. And maybe we can talk to the listeners when we get back about, adding joy to this idea of sharing responsibility and taking ourselves to the next level. So, a lady who picks up, hearts off the beach has got to be able to help us with joy. We'll be right back with Lynn Robbins, Hearts from Nature, and the Four Seasons when we get back. This is Rabbi Jenny. Stay tuned.
The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin. The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Hi, welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny and Lynn Robbins. We're here. We're talking about the joy of delegating and the joy of life and just the joy of creativity. We're totally getting into her, oh my God, love hearts, hearts of nature, tree hearts. I don't know. They're just the coolest things ever. These things they're these pods they're actually the shells of pods that fall from trees on the beaches in South Florida that are the shape of hearts. And Lynn was inspired to paint them and use them for fundraising. And you can go to her website, Hearts from Nature, and donate a heart to a charity of choice. So it's so very, very cool. So let's talk about the joy factor, because one of the things, Lynn, that you were talking about was how as long as you treat it as fun, it makes all of this easier. Talk to the listeners more about that and how you learned that.
Absolutely. So for both, for the deodorant and for the pods, I mean, my gosh, painting these pods, it really does bring so much joy.
I love this one.
To my heart. You know, painting is so creative, and you just feel the love. It's like going scuba diving when or snorkeling and you're under the water. It takes you away to a different place. It's so joyful. It's so wonderful. It's so enriching to the soul.
Well, and you have to. There's something about that joy energy or that creative energy that does make those fears of like getting the new website or getting the new packaging or meeting new people or what it's going to take. It's sort of, as long as it's fun, you know.
Yes,
it's okay.
Yeah,
you know?
And I'm all about it. We have enough stress in this world, so for me, these two outlets are creative and fun, and I just think that it will flow in its own timing. You know, the rewards for my efforts. You know, it'll flow in.
So this is in the show. We always get a tiny bit personal as you're comfortable on the Rabbi Jenny Show, and we go to our topic and we talk about, because the listeners are always listening and they can connect, through their own life experience and through you. And you're such an inspiration through what you've done. Where in your own life could you look back and see that you had trouble sort of delegating and maybe tried to control a situation, and by letting go and letting other people help you, it really had a transformative, and it doesn't have to be business connected, just like, talk to the listeners. And, somebody out there is definitely, if this is a topic this week, needing to let others in. So,
yeah, we can't do everything, and we have to ask for help when we need it. We need direction, or just even cleaning the house. It could be that simple, such a small, simple task.
Yeah.
But just to not put so much pressure on ourselves.
Yes.
To reach out and other people need to work and receive other extra work. So why take it on all ourselves? And I'm doing that this year for sure. I am delegating and putting it out there because I can't do it all. My plate is very full with what I'm trying to do right now. So
I love that idea, like even cleaning the house. That's so true. Like as women, we feel like we got to wear all hats.
Yeah.
I was talking to Dr. Amy about that from the Two Broads show, and that we think we have to do all. It's like if we let go of the cooking or the clean, like somehow we're letting go of a piece of who we are.
Yeah.
And, sometimes other people want to be help.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love that. The cleaning of the house. What do you want the listeners to know the most about your Four Seasons deodorant? Like, what do you think is the most important thing for them to know to transition from regular deodorant and antiperspirant into this idea of essential oils?
Well, it's very safe. It's very effective. It's healthful for the body. And it's going into your lymph nodes. Our skin is the largest organ, as we know. So, we have to make sure we know what's going in there. Read your labels. And that's it. It's really a simplified little blend, and it'll work with your aura.
And you can
with
get
the
on airplanes
oils.
with it, which is the most important thing in the
Exactly.
planet. That you can get on an airplane with them,
Yes.
and they're cute too.
Yes.
Yes, and delicious. And so, what's the website for the deodorant?
Lynsfourseasons.com, and that's with the 4. Lyns, LYNNS, the number 4, seasons with an S.
Okay. And now we're going to go to our hearts that we love here. I'm going to model them. I'm getting my HSN moment.
Heartsfromnature.com.
Yes, these things are amazing. And if you have a charity or you have a children's organization and you're interested in getting in touch with Lynn, what is the best way to get in touch with you with regards to the Tree Heart Project?
Yeah, they can do heartsfromnature.com or call me. My number, I can leave the number, 561-789-7022. Again, I'll say 561-789-7022.
Oh, very, 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 very cool. I don't know. There's just so much to talk about here. There's like, I'm showing you. I have like a blue one. I have a Z. I feel like I'm like she's painting them like animals. This one, guys, looks like a butterfly, not like a heart.
It's true.
Yeah. So you can go on the website and you can check all of these out. You can also see pictures from the children who painted them. Yes. And there's hundreds of them. And I also want you to take, we want to take this inspiration. If you get that idea, I think the coolest thing of today was that you were standing in front of your medicine cabinet and was like, I think we need better deodorant.
That is exactly how it happened.
That's the coolest thing.
And the same thing with the tree. I was going on my route and I saw, on my little walk, and if we're present in the moment.
Yes.
Because our minds are so busy all the time, and we have to take the time to just take a step back and connect with us and the universe. And, that's what it was, And I thought, oh my gosh, I was paying attention. It wouldn't have happened if I didn't notice that on the ground.
Were you always like that?
This past year, the last couple of years, I'm really into trying to be more meditative, yoga, take care of myself, and really, like I said, I follow a healthy regimen with health and eating habits and stuff, but just the other side of it, meditating and calming the chatter.
Yes, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, these outlets are beautiful. Painting is beautiful.
And these might have been the voices that you tune out. This little idea might have been that one, oh, I can't do that. oh, that's too big of a project, or oh, I don't know, So I think this show is all about that for the listeners. Like, go for it. Like, go. There's something telling you to do something. You have got to do it, because this
Yes.
is like, if you were in the studio right now, there's just so much going on.
I know. I never thought I'd be here. I mean, a seed was planted, and I had a thought, and I went with it. So look where I'm at. I would never thought I'd be here today.
And it's wonderful. Like, the universe will meet you. It'll meet you. And we definitely want to always encourage the listeners on the Rabbi Jenny Show to reach for your passion, reach for a more active life where you're connected to source. What kind of meditation do you do, Lynn?
I do a lot of reading. I love to do it on my porch. I'm blessed to be with on water on
nice.
my terrace. So I do a lot of reading out there. Just self-help also too. Anything
Anything to feed the soul.
prayers.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Okay, so we're going to tell the listeners one more time, heartsfromnature.com, and that's one word, and you can reach them at 561-789-7022. Yes. And then you can get the deodorant, the Lynn's Four Seasons deodorant. We want to remind you of how amazing they are, because each of the scents match each of the four seasons, but you don't have to keep them in order, and they're really, really cool. And we all see those essential oils it's so funny, we all go to like Whole Foods or Fresh Market, and you see the oils, and then you see the deodorant, which I use, the Primal Pit Paste, which smells like nothing, and is like basically big wax that I put to be healthy. So the idea of combining these two things in one product is actually ingenious. So we want to encourage the listeners to go to Lynn's Four Seasons, the number 4.com. Contact Lynn if you want to hear more about it, or if somebody's told you it's time for you to put the aluminum down. If you've just really gotten that message, don't shave, be safer, take care of your female body, your male body. And, definitely call Lynn, and she can answer any questions or guide you to any resources.
Yes, and the blends can be mixed. Say you like winter or spring the best, I could do 2 and 2 instead of all 4 of different.
Oh, that's really cool. So, and is there a future version? Is there more stuff coming as far as more products?
I am thinking of doing lotions the same sense, just lotions for the body, because they smell so pretty.
Oh, I think that's awesome. Or even like a mist, a spray.
A mist spray,
you're doused in your winter, and then you can do it during the summer in the heat in Florida. Well, this has been so awesome, Lynn. Thank you so much for coming on the Rabbi Jenny Show. Before you go, 10 things that make you ridiculously joyful. You got 10? I like putting people on the spot. This is what we're gonna do. So 10 things that make you ridiculously joyful.
Okay. Well, nature, love in general, beach walks, biking, swimming, my family, friends, my work, my creativity, painting, ice skating.
Yeah. Oh, I love ice skating too. Well, this is Rabbi Jenny. Stay tuned. Thank you, Lynn Robbins.
You're welcome.
It's been great having you. We'll be right back with the Jenny Jam and the Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge. Thanks.
The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from the Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Hey, welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny. We are having so much fun here in the studio on the Rabbi Jenny Show. We're talking about the joy of delegation, but this turned out to be a show of creativity in life and following that inner voice and allowing yourself to elevate your life to a new level. And I got these hearts. These things are addictive. Like now I want to sell, go to the website, please buy one. They are so there's something about them that when you're holding them, it just, I don't know, you do feel Lynn's magic in them and you feel the love in their creation. We are going to go to the Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge. Someone's on the phone.
Joy. It's Adeline Gobergstein and it's time
It's a crazy show today.
It's a crazy show today. Challenge.
Hi, caller. Who's on the phone?
Hi, Rabbi Jenny. This is Jenny.
Hey, Jenny. How are you? Thank you for calling the Rabbi Jenny Show.
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I am having so much fun. I'm in love with these little tree hearts that the guest here has brought. If you were looking, you would see that I'm like not letting them go. It's having a very positive effect on my life. So Jenny, do you know about the Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge?
I do not.
Okay, what you have to do for me is you have to do what our guest did. You have to name 10 things that make you ridiculously joyful, and then you can promote your business on the air.
Okay. All right. So just 1 to 10, I can just
throw them out there, girl. Throw them out.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to leverage additional ones. I'm
Okay.
gonna, break my family up. Okay. My son.
Yeah.
My amazing son. My incredible husband. Our little kitten. Coffee. My DVR.
Okay.
Travel.
Nice.
Photography. Interacting with people. Meeting new people. And getting lost in thought.
Is that 10?
Yeah.
It is? Oh, I wanted to listen to you forever, Jenny. It's very silly in here. These hearts are making me kooky. All right, Jenny, what would you like to...
But,
That's okay. What would you like to promote here on the Rabbi Jenny Show? What business are you in, Jen?
My husband and I have a creative solutions firm. It's called Moxie B2B. Our website is Moxie, MOXIE, the letter B, the number 2, the letter B.com. And we pride ourselves in providing very high-end, sophisticated creative solutions to smaller and medium-sized businesses that may not have it accessibly elsewhere. We love a creative challenge. We help in the branding, marketing, PR, event planning, logistics, and brand ambassador space. social media management, and pretty much anything in between, as well as promotional products. So we love to help companies increase their imprint with their brand, with their marketing, and their sales through creative efforts.
That is awesome. So tell us the website one more time, Jenny.
Sure, it's Moxie, Moxie, B, the number 2, the letter B.com.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay, Jenny, thank you for calling the Rabbi Jenny Show.
Thank you. Great to speak with you.
Have a ridiculously joyful night.
You do the same. Thank you.
Oh my God, this is crazy. These hearts are having like a really strange effect on me. I do not know what's going on. Maybe it's the essential oil deodorant. Maybe it's the hearts. I don't know, but I'm having like a chemical reaction to the studio. I really am. Like, I'm in love with them. You have to check this out. You have to check out these tree hearts and Hearts for Nature. There's something about it. And, I wish you guys could have heard how they're made. They're layers and layers of drying the paint and keeping the paint because the shells soak up the paint. It's just delicious. It's delicious. And maybe I'll just use them in my Jenny Jam because it is time for the Jenny Jam.
Yo, 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 jam, 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 jam.
We're going to remember the topic, everyone. Ready? You can't do it all alone, but we might do it all together. You can't do it all alone, but we might do it all together. Let yourself go, let yourself take from the rest of us before your heart breaks. You don't have to carry the weight of the world. What are you proving to yourself, girl? True you's parted the seas, set everyone free. But who's gonna save you from authority? Reach for the stars, jump at the moon. It'll all be over if you push too soon. You can do it all alone, but we might do it all together. Oh, you can't do it all alone, but we might do it all together. Oh, you can't do it all alone, but we might do it all together. This is the craziest show ever, I swear to God. This is what happens, listeners, when you have the flu and you decide to come on the air. Right? Okay, so I just want to talk about the topic. This is the part of the show where we just light you up. This is the end of the show. We're so excited that you joined us on the Rabbi Jenny Show. You should replay this one again because there's a lot of joy and a lot of love. But we want to remind you what we're talking about here today. We're talking about a really important lesson. The lesson is this: you have to learn to delegate. You have to learn to reach out. You have to learn how to share with others in order to elevate yourself. This word elevation keeps coming to me throughout the whole show. If you want to elevate your life to the other, to the next level, you have to allow the people beneath you to also raise up because they will raise you up. This is important. And if you're listening, there's somebody out there. I just know somebody out there needs these hearts because I'm having like a seriously serious, they're having an effect on me, a joyful effect. We got to bring you, we got to bring these for the children. These are so cool. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to get back. I'm going to focus. It's funny. I was praying this morning and, the good Lord said, allow yourself to be happy. So maybe this is just one of these ridiculously joyful hours where we have to learn to be happy. Like learn to let in the love, let in the laughter, learn to make mistakes, learn all that stuff and to risk making mistakes and to risk others making mistakes. And in those mistakes, everybody will learn and everything will be just fine. I'm at work right now and things are getting crazy and we're growing really, really, really fast. But if I didn't have the team of all teams beneath me, if I didn't have these people around me that I knew could take on, as I take on more, they take on more. As I take on more, they take on more. And together we're able to help more people. Because I've had to let go of things that I thought were essential to who I was. I was like, oh, if I don't do that, then nobody's going to love me. And if I don't feel that, nobody's going to love me. And, oh, if they don't see me 1,000,000 times a week, they're not going to love me anymore. And if I don't hold on to that and we turn from our guests, as women, sometimes we think if I don't cook dinner every night, they're not going to think I'm the best mom in the whole world. Well, guess what? Kids need responsibility. Kids need to learn how to cook because otherwise they're going to get to college or they're going to get to their apartment and they're going to call you and go, Mom, I don't know how to cook. So we can't enable them either. This is the craziest show. I swear to God. This is so crazy. Might be the best show though, because you know what? Everybody needs to laugh. And having the flu, one of the things that I've learned is that when we get sick or when things come in our life, the most important thing to do is welcome them with joy. Because the energy of joy, the energy of sharing is so much lighter than that heavy energy. Sad, feeling sorry for yourself, not allowing anyone in takes so much more work and so much more effort, than letting the world come into your life, letting people actually make your vision come true. If you're the one with the vision, like my guest today, if you're the one with the vision, guess what? There's going to be forces of this universe coming to help you make that vision come true. And it's that moment of surrender. Surrender. Allow the angels to come into your life, the coincidences to happen, because I am telling you, they're going to happen. They're going to come in because that idea just didn't pop into your mind. That idea was inspiration from your higher self, from that part of you that's connected to life source energy. That part of you that is so, so sacred. That part of you that could only hear that message because I couldn't hear it. You could, based on your life experience and your input and everything that you've come to it till that point. You're the one who could hear it, so the rest of us can help you and support you in that vision. Each one of us is different, but we're all the same light. We're all like diamonds. And the light of God shines through us a little bit differently based on our experience. But it's going to shine. And we all need it to. We all need these great ideas to come. So laugh a little, love a little, and by all means, do not take yourself so damn seriously. And do not think that you need to do it all alone. You do not have to do it all alone. There is so much love around you. The Rabbi Jenny Show's main message today is just let in the love. Let in the support and let in the joy, because life is too short and we have a lot to do here to transform this planet. Like I told you, there's a web being wove here on the Mother Earth. It's being woven with all 7 colors and with all sorts of light and love. And it is just going to happen. So get on board, man. Ride the wave. And I don't know. That's it. Delegate. Love everybody. And go to our website. Just before we go, I just want to remind you of Hearts from Nature with Lynn Robbins. Please go there. You can also go to Lynn's Four Seasons for her natural deodorant. It's beautiful, smells beautiful, all different shades, and she can give you a mixture of those. We want to remind you of our caller, Moxie V2. Jenny with Moxie. If you want some creative direction for your company or small company, please contact them. We also want to take the time to thank Epiphany Resources, our main sponsor tonight, and we want to remind you to go to forthechildrenfirst.org and make a donation for that wonderful organization that provides after-school programming here in South Florida for at-risk youth. And I adore you and I love you and keep shining it. I got the flu, so we will talk to you next week on the Rabbi Jenny Show. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. Mwah. Keep shining. Bye-bye.
You have been listening and lighting up your life with Rabbi Jenny. Join us next week for another session of love, light, and joy as Rabbi Jenny takes life to the next level. Are you ready? Rabbi Jenny says the time is now. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were in the shortest period of time with the least amount of inconvenience. With 3 beautiful new offices located in Lake Worth, Boynton Beach, and Wellington, we are able to provide much-needed care to families in the South Florida area. Give us a call at 561-967-6500. From our experienced physicians to the most advanced treatment options to our state-of-the-art facilities and excellent support staff, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County is committed to providing you with the very best care. Call us at 561-967-6500 or find us at www.ocpbc.com.
If you've decided to get back to feeling good again like you used to feel, then you're invited to tune in to the Dr. Bob Martin Show. Hi, I'm Dr. Bob, at your service Sunday mornings at 10 on Talk 1470 WNN.
Hello, I am attorney Rashawn Banks, and I enjoy listening to Spiritual Downloads with Anna Stevenson.
Hi, I'm Anna Stevenson.
Join me every Saturday at 4 p.m. in the afternoon on Spiritual Downloads, right here on AM 1470. Spiritual Downloads is a live call-in talk show where we talk about everything from spiritual matters to what matters to you. So join me at 4 p.m. every Saturday. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
There are a ton of social networking websites, but one stands apart for a very special reason. This one saves lives. It's MatchingDonors.com. MatchingDonors.com links organ donors with people in need of kidney and other transplants. In the U.S., 22 people die each day waiting for an organ transplant, most of them for kidneys. If you've ever considered becoming a living organ donor, or if you're someone in need of an organ transplant, visit MatchingDonors.com, home of the greatest gift of all, the gift of life. MatchingDonors.com.
Swimming pools can be lots of fun, but they can be dangerous too, especially for young children. Always practice simple safety steps to prevent tragedies.
The opinions expressed in the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to our show. You're listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections, a place to learn about and celebrate creative arts therapy. Each week we'll explore new ways that music, art, and dance can reach, connect with, and help individuals of all stages of health and wellness. Hi, I'm Bree Bynan, a board-certified music therapist and the managing partner for the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. Tune in as I interview professionals from healthcare and educational backgrounds on the impact of the creative arts. If you prefer to watch our live video stream, simply visit www.pbmti.com. Hello, thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Bree Gordon, and you are watching Connections. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm so glad you found us. We're on our new-ish home, still kind of new at 95.3 FM, hanging strong at 1470 AM, and you can also find our live video feed on Facebook Live, which has been an awesome way to connect with new viewers, new listeners. So if you've checked us out, Facebook Live, at our page Connections, or searchable by Connections by Aria, we're so glad you found us. And if you haven't checked that out, as long as you're not driving, I think it's important to make the specification. If you're driving, please stick to the radio. But once you get home safely, which we hope we're able to help you do tonight, check us out on Facebook, because it's a really cool way to, if you've missed something, we have a really awesome conversations, and they get a little fast, they get a little lively, because I get excited about my guests. When I come on, I'm like excited a half hour beforehand talking to these people in the room, and I just can't wait to share it with the world. So if I'm talking fast on Facebook Live, you've got that option to slide that bar back and re-listen at your convenience whenever you want. So again, if you've checked us out there already, thank you so much. I have the amazing honor of getting to do this show every week, which still blows my mind. I was gone last week doing some advocacy work in Tallahassee for the Alzheimer's Association, and I missed being here so much. I missed this opportunity to connect with someone else in the community, to share it all with you. So I'm glad to be back, and I'm able to be here because of our support and our amazing sponsors. So I want to shout it out to Bright Star Home Care, one of our awesome sponsors. And I also want to encourage anyone listening or watching tonight, if you think that you have an audience for your business, your small or large business, whatever it is that you do, that someone you might be trying to reach to your business would enjoy listening to this show, I hope you'll contact me, and we could maybe talk about some sponsorship opportunities, because not only do you have an opportunity to put your commercial on, your logo, but to come on the show and talk about the amazing things you're doing in the community. Our show can only get bigger, reach more people, make a bigger, more positive impact with support from the community. So I just wanted to throw that out there yet again, and thanks everyone for all the love you've shown me. This week is all about the love. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. I hope that you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. But at the same time, I do want to emphasize that it is a day, right? We designate it as a Valentine's Day. We designate it as a special time to show love and appreciation for those in our lives. But there are no rules here. Like this is just a reminder of something we could be doing every day. Right? And kind of makes you feel good. Doesn't it make you feel good to maybe get flowers, or maybe something as simple as a compliment? Like, how easy is it to give a compliment to someone and see the smile on their face? Because you know, once the more you give that out, tell someone you really appreciate the work they've done, they look nice today, write them a nice thank you note, whatever that is, whatever that means for you, bake them cookies, whatever that is, the more you put that out there, the more you're going to get back, which is so cool. I feel that at work, I feel it in personal life, and I understand I am not a card sender, and I wish I were. Every time I receive a thank you note from someone, I think, I want to be that person when I grow up. I mean, nothing makes me feel more special than like a handwritten thank you note, right? And when I sit down to actually do that, and I use that, 4 or 5 minutes out of my day to do that, wow, it feels so good. And I know I'm making a difference to someone else as well. And it really doesn't take that much energy and time on my part. I probably spend more time worrying about not sending thank you notes to people and feeling guilty about it than I do actually sitting down and doing it. And this is just one small example, but this is what it's all about, right? The show is connections. If you've watched, if you've listened before, you know how passionate I am about making connections in our community, nationally, globally, what kind of an impact that makes, whether you're a small business owner, whether you're a volunteer, whether you're a client, whether you're a caregiver. We thrive and we grow from these connections that we make. And I think there's really no better time than Valentine's Day to really sit down and think about what kind of connections are we making with people around us, because honestly, connections are relationships. Right? And relationships are what we're meant to celebrate on Valentine's Day. Oftentimes it's very connected romantically, but I think Valentine's Day is a great time to call up your parents and your grandparents and your siblings and just say, I really appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for supporting me through school or helping me buy my first car, or whatever that means to you, or encouraging me on social media. There's so many different ways that we can feel and receive and give this love, this appreciation. Our friends, Valentine's Day is a great way, a great time to show appreciation for your friendships, for your coworkers. You know, just bringing a little bit of light and levity into the space. I don't think it, and you know, I say every week I have the best job in the world, but even having the best job in the world, self-proclaimed, not every day is going to be perfect. You're going to have stressful days. You're going to have days when there's more deadlines than other times, or more stressful events, or traffic is bad, or a difficult session with a client, whatever that is for your workspace. Doesn't it make a difference to receive a smile or encouragement or a listening ear from maybe someone sitting in the office next to you? It makes a big difference. So that's going to be our focus today as we're celebrating this post-Valentine's Day. I want to carry this on through the week, you know, and even beyond. So really focus this week on what is something that I can do. You know, I'm all about this personal responsibility. We're the only people that we can control, right? We're the only people we're responsible for. What can I do to share a little love with someone who's meaningful to me? And again, if big romantic gestures are your thing, more power to you. But it doesn't have to be a big, grand gesture. A smile goes a long way. Eye contact goes a long way. A handshake goes a long way. A high five, a compliment, a hug if that's comfortable. I mean, it really can be that simple. So that's what I want to encourage you today. Now, that's kind of the beginning ways of thinking about strengthening these connections, right? The other side of that is, what are things that hurt connections? And remember, we're thinking about connections as it pertains to relationships, right? So what are some things that can damage these connections that we maybe don't even really mean to do? A little comment, being so overwhelmed that we maybe forget things, aren't paying attention to certain things that might be really special or important to somebody else, not following through. Little things, sometimes not even intentional, that can damage these connections, damage these relationships. And my guest today has a really, really cool, creative option for repairing these connections. Whether it's a relationship, a partnership, a family relationship, a work relationship, some really, really interesting outside of the box ideas for getting outside of maybe your typical therapy clinical space, getting outside four walls and getting in nature and letting nature and different activities and adventures really help to repair, build, and strengthen these connections, these bonds, and these relationships. So again, I think this is the perfect time, this Valentine's week, to explore some creative, outside of the box, that's what we're all about here at Connections, ways to build these relationships. Not only are we going to learn about all of this, but our guest today has the most incredible giveaway. I think it's one of the coolest giveaways we've ever had in a year and a half on this show. So you really, really do not want to miss that. So she's going to join us after the break. Before we cut to that, there's a couple things, announcements that I wanted to remind you of, our events. I was away last week again. I missed it so much. I'm so glad to be back. But before I left, I had guests Yulia and Nicole from Creative Mornings Palm Beach, which if you missed the show, again, go back to Facebook Live, check it out. It was awesome. These two young ladies are entrepreneurs, they're small business owners, but they're also volunteers for this global initiative called Creative Mornings. They just started a Palm Beach chapter. These networking groups rotate every month around Palm Beach County, and they feature a speaker, have coffee and donuts. They're bright and early Friday morning to bring together creatives. Now, if that word scares you and you think I'm not a creative, their mission is to show everybody that everybody is creative and everyone is welcome. So I cannot wait to check out my first Creative Mornings meeting. There is going to be one this Friday at 8:30. So this Friday, the 17th. It's going to be at the Old School Square, I believe it is, in Delray Beach. And the theme for this month is moments, celebrating moments. So there's a woman there, the speaker, and she is going to be speaking on behalf of a school that she started, which is an alternative community-based mode to education called the Space of Mind. It's talking about the moments that are made in the classroom, this alternative approach to classroom. So I'm really, really excited about that. Their first one in West Palm Beach had like 84 people at it. It was incredible. I know that this is just going to be more and more successful. So if you are interested in that at all, and you can also look them up on Creative Mornings Palm Beach on Facebook. Along this kind of same theme of alternative approaches to education, even before Yulia and Nicole were on, about a month or so ago, we had Raquel and Christina on, who also are a part of a community-based homeschool option for children, and they are promoting a documentary that's going to be happening this Saturday called Class Dismissed. And you've heard me talk about that a little bit. So their center is called Evolve Learning Center. You can look them up on Facebook as well. And they've got a documentary that they're going to do a panel discussion talking about the benefits and maybe some myths about homeschooling. And that is called Class Dismissed, is the documentary there. I talked straight through my song, so I had so much I want to talk to you about this. So we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, then we'll do our sing-along, and then I'm going to introduce you to my awesome guest, Nikki, today. You don't want to miss it. And by the way, did I mention an awesome giveaway? Stick around.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon. I'm so thrilled to be back with you all this week. Thank you, however you're joining us tonight, whether it's by 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, or by Facebook Live at our Facebook page, Connections by Aria. We're so glad to have you. So in my introduction today, I mentioned that we are continuing on. We're not just because Valentine's Day is done. No, we are keeping this theme rolling on because this is the time to celebrate connections in our lives and relationships in our lives and look at creative options for building and strengthening these connections, relationships. So my guest today is going to tell us about some really awesome, innovative, exciting, adventurous ways to look at these options for strengthening relationships. But before we do, I just wanted to take a second to share my favorite love song. I hope you don't mind. And it's only appropriate one time a year. So if I don't do it now, I won't get another chance. And last time I sang it was probably on the show last year for Valentine's Week. So I hope you'll indulge me. Some people don't like this song. They think that's a weird Valentine's Day song. It's not very complimentary, but I think it's one of the most beautiful jazz melodies ever written. So if you know it, I hope you'll sing along with me. This is My Funny Valentine. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Are you smart, but don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay, please stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. But don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay, please stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. It's one of my favorites. How hauntingly beautiful is that melody? And you know what? Isn't that great? Maybe you're not the most beautiful specimen in the world. It's okay. Your Valentine loves you anyways. And I love the line, each day is Valentine's Day, and it's with the help of wonderful people like my guest today, Nikki Treadwell, who is a licensed mental health counselor and a co-owner of Epic Adventures Therapy, who helps keep those relationships strong so it feels like Valentine's Day every day. Nikki, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Bree, for having me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So before we get started, I'm so excited as I get every week just to learn more about different things going on in our community. Before we get into all of that, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got into this work.
Absolutely. As I'm sitting here letting your beautiful music just kind of wash all over me, and I'm feeling calm and ready.
Awesome.
So I am a licensed mental health counselor and a nationally certified counselor, and I have been doing therapy for about 7 years. I have been in Florida for about 7 years. And before that, I lived in Louisiana.
Okay.
So I get my southern roots, and I bring them into the beautiful Sunshine State.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I
Southern
started...
hospitality.
Definitely, definitely. I get that a lot. I started working in substance abuse. And I was in that industry for a little while, and then that's where I got my start in adventure therapy, which we'll talk more about. But then I had a baby. I became a mom, and my whole focus in life just shifted. And so about 3 years ago, I started a private practice, a very small private practice in Port St. Lucie, where I focus on perinatal mood and anxiety disorders. So I work with a lot of pregnant moms and postpartum moms. I offered a birthing program to help women prepare for natural labors. And so I have 2 kids now. So that's my one love. But then the other love is adventure therapy. So about 5 years ago, I started growing into the field, and now here I am. And so I split my time. First, I'm a mom. And then secondly, I do the 2 practices. I do my mom's and the adventure therapy piece.
That's awesome. And I mean, and kudos to you for finding that balance too.
It's
and
hard.
setting that priority.
It's
because
difficult.
It's got to be hard, especially when you feel so passionate about the things. It's not like, well, I love being mom, but I have to do these other things. You're like, I love doing all of these things.
Yes, and to equally balance all 3 of those things, and plus, your relationship with a partner that you want to be healthy. It's challenging, and there are weeks that I struggle, and there are weeks that I thrive, just like everyone. So a tribe is what does it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Get your people around you.
I hear that word a lot in that chair.
Yeah,
with
I imagine you do.
I do. It's really cool. In fact, the ladies I was talking about had on last week. They were talking about that a lot. The stronger we have that tribe, there's people around us supporting us, encouraging us to all reach our best potential.
We are not islands.
No.
We need each other.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So many things you mentioned that you're passionate about. Today, specifically, we're going to be talking about this idea, adventure therapy, which is new to me. And as I mentioned to you a little earlier, I am no stranger to this idea of alternative or complementary integrative therapies. And I don't know about adventure therapy. I need to know about this, so please tell me. What is it?
So adventure therapy, in a basic definition, is it's experiential learning paired with processing, right? So it takes everything that as a therapist you know and you talk about and you educate on and you discuss and process, but you bring it into an experiential space. And so we use modalities like kayaking and hiking, and we bring people out into the wonderful sunshine and the beautiful woods, and we touch the sand, and we allow them to explore everything we talk about, but in an experiential way. And so we do it alongside with them, whether it be an individual or whether it be a family or a couple or a group. We do all of those, and we make sure that we're right there with that passenger, and we're helping them talk them out and process what they are experiencing.
That's awesome. We're in the perfect space for it.
We are.
Talk about this multisensory input that we can receive from being around this.
Oh, yeah.
The sunshine, the sand, the water. We have access to it all. If only there could be mountains here.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be perfect, but that's okay.
Yes. It's funny that you say that, because a lot of our adventure therapy colleagues, they're from Northwest area, right?
Sure.
So, hiking is a common modality that we use, and so whenever we talk with them and they talk about these awesome hikes we go on, we're like, we go hiking too.
Yeah.
Like we walk in straight lines.
Yeah, we go to the
not
state
the same
park
thing.
and
Yeah.
we avoid the alligators. Yes,
Yes,
that's hiking.
that's what we call hiking. And in Florida, it is
exactly.
hiking.
It is hiking. I'm down
Yes.
with that. That's my hike. I get it.
Definitely, yes. We're sweating. We're putting forth effort. We're learning. We're growing. We're exploring. It's hiking.
It's so funny. I remember telling we met some family. I met some family in Peru about 2 years ago, and I'm like, I've been training for the Machu Picchu hike, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, where were you training? I'm like,
right.
Well, I walked a path with a backpack on,
Yes,
so
yes. I had some weight
it was
in there.
at sea level, but we don't need to. Yeah, exactly. I had food in it. That was about it. But yeah, no. Well, that's the only thing we're missing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. Other than that, perfection. Totally.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. So, how did you get involved in adventure therapy?
So this was about, I would say, 5 years ago. I was working in a substance abuse facility, and I took over the position of clinical director. And I was, encouraged and really nurtured to follow a creative path. So they wanted something a little bit different. And as a primary therapist, I was already doing a lot of experiential learning. I did not know it as adventure therapy yet, right? At that time, I thought I was just this brilliant therapist who was taking their clients outside and doing all of this. So yes, definitely. But when I got a little more serious and was looking into program options and the type of curriculum, I started learning about this really incredible entire field of work called adventure therapy. And so thus, that's where the roots began. So I started as a clinical director of an adventure therapy-based company and got to grow it and train it. And then after that, that's when I left to have a baby and kind of stayed connected to the field. And then we got to a point where, by this time I had a bunch of people around me who were also really interested in this idea of adventure therapy. And it was only available in substance abuse settings. And so that's when we were like, this is not okay. This is incredible. The amount of change we see in people. So we started Epic Adventures, which it operates similarly to a group private practice where we can bring adventure therapy to anyone who wants to partake in that type of therapy.
That's awesome. And if there's any other licensed mental health counselors or social workers and things listening, I mean, is there a certain certification that you need to become an adventure therapist?
That is a wonderful question. As of right now, there is not a specific certification. Now, there is an entire governing body, Association for Experiential Education, who governs these types of programs. And there is a therapeutic professionals group, which is what we fall under. So lots of resources for trainings, year-round, conferences that we go to. So that is where you get your first start.
Okay,
right?
Awesome. Do you need to be registered then with that governing body for your practice?
Yes, absolutely. So they have a certain set of curriculum that kind of guidelines that you follow. Not really a curriculum, more like guidelines, best practices type thing, and things you need to have in place. And so, yes, that is kind of what we align our program to.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, again, that idea of sharing best practices and supporting one another, that's raises the standard, keeps everybody working towards the same goals.
It does,
great.
and it is a beautiful community, as are a lot of mental health communities out there, the adventure therapy community. And, it's one of those things where in the future, I would say very soon, we will start to see a credentialing process for adventure therapy. We're just not there yet.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I mean, the more exposure that it gets, and we are going to break down exactly what we're talking about here and who it helps. But before we do, before we cut to our commercial break, you have an incredible giveaway for us today. So I just want you to introduce that really quickly, and then we're going to talk more about what that means after the break.
Okay, so part of what we do is team development. So we do groups for organizations or businesses who are looking to grow their team. Corporate team trainings, you may have heard it called, but we kind of go in from a different approach. And so what we are giving away is a 3-hour team development group for up to 15 people, where either we could come to you or you can come to us, or we can meet in a neutral location outside at a park, and we will work with your team for 3 hours, helping process and explore the dynamics, kind of put you through some of our challenges, help you develop.
That is so awesome. Our team got an opportunity to do something very similar for just about an hour and a half last summer, and it was amazing. So if you are a manager, a leader, a small business owner, I mean, you don't want to miss this. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break and then talk about what some of the benefits of these programs we're talking about are. Stick around. The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com, engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon, board-certified music therapist, here locally in Southeast Florida with the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. My guest with me today, Nikki Treadway, is a licensed mental health counselor and a nationally certified counselor. Is that the NCC? Mm-hmm. Perfect. And co-owner of Epic Adventures Therapy. So with a background working in substance abuse recovery and also your personal passion for children, but also your personal passion for just loving being out in nature.
Absolutely.
And you found a way to kind of combine all these things of strengthening relationships, strengthening, I'm imagining also self-image and confidence through these
all
as
of
well,
those, yes.
for sure. You have found this niche in adventure therapy.
Yes.
And I think we're the luckiest people in the world that we get to do what
I
we love
agree, yes.
every day. And also being business owners
Yes.
and loving what we do every day. It's the best. So what are some of the different modalities that you all feature at Epic?
Okay. We have a lot of different options. So I think it's helpful to frame it in the type of services that we provide, right? So we see individuals, we see couples, we'll see families, we do substance abuse groups, and then we do the organization and business and corporate groups, okay? So we talk about a wide range of different focuses in the groups that we do. So one of the most popular is kayaking. That is everyone's favorite, right? Because we get to get on the water.
Makes sense.
It
One
does.
of my favorites.
It is. And it's really interesting. It's mind-blowing how many people live in South Florida and have never been kayaking. So that's one of our modalities. We'll take
Or don't
people
go to the beach.
Or don't go to the beach. Yeah. So we'll take people out on kayaks, and for every group that we do, there is intention, there is objective, right? There is a clinical focus. So sometimes we'll do a 5-hour paddle, and we'll stop along the way, and we'll process and do little tiny activities. Sometimes we have them stand up and balance on the kayak and change places. So we do some...
That horrifies me.
We do some fear-based programming intentionally. You know, we put people in situations where their anxiety is going to go up, and we help them work through it with coping skills that we all know and love. We teach them breathing exercises. We watch their processes come out. I mean, that is the beautiful thing about adventure therapy is you cannot hide. There you are, right? If you go out into a kayak and then I ask you to stand up and then I ask you to change places, I get to see exactly how you're feeling in that moment. Are you resistant? Are you excited? Are you engaging in risky behaviors? You know, are you being methodical? Are you talking about how you feel? And in those moments, I will ask you, how are you feeling right now? You looked kind of scared when I said that. And we get to process that all on the water. You know, sometimes it's just about, you know, a 5-hour kayaking trek. Sometimes we go out to Jonathan Dickinson and we'll go to Trapper Nelson's. And that's, depending on your kayaking ability, you're looking at, you know, a 3-hour, you know, kayaking hike, or maybe 2 hours. But it's telling, like, endurance and your approach, and if you're able to pace and what's going on and how you know you're super excited about something and then an hour later you're not and you're ready to quit and give up, and let's talk about that and let's translate that pattern to other things in your life. And all of these beautiful dynamics come up when we put you in this. Hiking is another one, which, as you mentioned, you know, I think is pretty self-explanatory, right? We're just kind of walking, we're exploring, but you would be surprised at how many people feel turned off by the idea of hiking, and then we get out there and we walk and we talk. Sometimes we talk while we're walking. Sometimes we'll hike and then we'll stop and we'll find a nice, quiet, private place, and we'll do what I call set up camp, which sometimes is hammocks or lay bags or just blankets. And we'll do a nice meditation.
Oh,
and
I'm just relaxed listening to this. Like,
yes,
it just reminds me that I need to get back
you
out.
need to get out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting because, thinking about our conversation as I'm preparing during the day, and it's coming up for me now is when I share with people what I do, like, oh, I get it. Music is my therapy, right?
Yes.
Music, so therapy. I mean, this makes so much sense to me.
It does.
I mean, just the act of getting that sand in your toes and getting on the water, I mean, it's therapeutic.
It is. And, for people who struggle with mindfulness activities or meditations, right? If you're the type of person who you listen to a guided imagery and you have a really hard time connecting sensory, this is a great way to teach that, right? We don't just talk about the beach. Let's go to the beach. We're going to feel the wind in our hair. We're going to smell the salt. We're going to touch the sand. And you're going to do all of those things while I'm guiding you and you're relaxing, so that when you're sitting at home and you're struggling or you're feeling anxious, you will be able to have that sensory recall. You can go right back to that much easier than if you never went there in the first place.
And then having that next level being guided by a certified counselor who's able to process, like you're saying, you're taking in the experiences, what you're observing from individuals, and able to process through that with them. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because it's right there. It's really easy. I say that a lot. Like people who are new to adventure therapy think, wow, that must be difficult. And I think it's actually a lot easier because when you're sitting in the four walls, sometimes you only see so much of who that person is. But out there, stuff comes up really easy, and you get to comment on it and help them see what's going on. And
lot harder to hide, like you were saying.
So much harder to hide. And not only that, there's a freedom that exists in the wilderness, so to speak, where in groups people are talking more freely, right? The rapport builds easier. It feels less formal. Hey, we're just kind of hanging out, taking a walk, and so walls come down. You would be amazed at some of these revelations that occur 3 hours into a hike when everybody is kind of breathy and sweating, but we're all in here together and we're all looking at each other, and then we stop and we pause for a moment, and I ask, come right off the gate asking some really intense questions, and they're right there. They're ready to get into it.
That's awesome. And it's a spiritual thing.
Very spiritual.
Yeah, I mean, it's all of those domains, working together. I feel personally, anyways, when you're in nature.
It is, and we try to do a balance of all the different types of activities, right? So sometimes we get people that come to us who are really high energy, and they want to do something crazy and risky, and they want to do the slacklining, and okay, we may do some of that, but at the same time, that may not be your need. Like you seem to do really well, so let's practice kind of a slower paced activity for you and see how you perform in that. Groups that we work with regularly, we rotate land and water. We go with slow paced to fast paced. We do fear based versus meditation based. We kind of like to expose everyone to everything.
Sure. That's amazing. I want to really quickly cut back to what we were talking about before the last commercial break. This awesome, generous offer of a giveaway for a 3-hour team building, corporate-based adventure group, adventure therapy group, and for up to team members up to 15.
Up to 15.
Right? And you have a call to action. You can't just call in.
Exactly.
No, because like you said out there, it's adventure-based therapy.
It is.
Make you work for it.
Absolutely.
I love it. So what does our lucky caller have to do for us today?
So what I would like you to do is to call in and tell me why your organization or your business deserves this. Tell me why you deserve this. What makes you deserving of this 3-hour adventure-based group?
Show some love to your team this Valentine's Day week. Like, why are you so incredible? Why are you so amazing? Why do you deserve this team building experience? Which, again, just from the limited experience that I had with my team, and I'll share a little bit about that in the moment, it's so impactful. It's really incredible. 888-565-1470. You have until 7 o'clock. Our program ends tonight to call into the show and tell us why your team, and you don't have to be the manager or the owner. You can just be a team member. You think my team could really benefit from this. Everybody could. Here's the thing. That's a short answer to that. If you just are part of any team at all, you can benefit from it.
That's awesome. Absolutely right. I mean, this is a nurturing act, right?
Yes.
And, to call in to receive this is a nurturing act. You're taking care of your team. When we talk about teams of any capacity, it's a family. When you look at family dynamics, those become very prominent in all teams and all organizations. Roles are assumed, communication patterns are developed that is very similar to families. So we treat it as such when we work with these organizations and businesses.
I love that. That's awesome. So it's making me think about, and I honestly hadn't thought about this in a while, of one of the activities that we did. And we were all blindfolded, and one of us was to be like kind of the leader in the group, and I was. And so we all had blindfolds, and we were all kind of in a group, and as the leader, I was in the center, and then my job was to get this rope untangled, unknotted. It was all knotted up in the hands of everyone, and then tell them to step out so that when I opened my eyes, we were in a perfect square.
Yes.
Okay, you're familiar with this?
I'm very familiar with that, yes.
Anxiety for me the entire time as the person untangling all this.
In charge, needing to have the vision, the insight, the communication, it all fell on you.
Oh my gosh. When I opened my eyes after all of this, perfect square.
Oh.
Perfect square. I felt such relief, and I just said the whole time, I just didn't want to let you guys down. You know? And to hear my team in that moment saying, no, we responded to, you told us all to take a step back, a foot length in our right foot, and the way it wasn't related to music therapy, our clients, our work at all. And I'll never forget that moment of how my team, I think, understood me better.
Yeah.
And how I understood how they receive what I'm saying.
Sure.
And how I understood how they are talking to each other, too.
Yeah, because you were exposed, right? You had an element of authenticity in that moment because I don't know if you volunteered for that position or if you were chosen for that position, but, somewhere, either way, there was leadership qualities. There was a level of confidence that you had to have, and you kind of pushed yourself through it, and the insecurities came out a little bit, which is a beautiful thing because we all have them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your team was right there to
be
help.
honest with them about that.
You had to be.
It was really incredible. We have a caller.
Yay.
Is it Felicia? Felicia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Are you interested in our amazing, awesome giveaway tonight?
I am. It'll be so awesome for my whole team. That'll be great.
That's awesome. So our call to action today to win this awesome opportunity is let us know, why does your team deserve this?
I would say I work at a nursing home with only 59 beds. And so, we're a part of a big organization, but we're just a little nursing home, so we get all the hand-me-downs and but the team, they really make it work. They're really, it's like the Taj Mahal in there. Like, they're so nice. They go out of their way for every single resident, every single family member, every day. And when you know that they do this just from the kindness of their heart, like, they'll be there on a Saturday for no reason, just to, take someone to get a haircut or bring, something.
Yeah.
They're awesome. So that'll be great for them. But
a lot of people who are passionate then about their work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very.
And deserve maybe some nurturing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. What do you think? Deserving, huh?
Definitely deserving.
I am so excited for you, Felicia. Thank you so much for listening and for calling in and for thinking about your teammates in this way. I mean, what an amazing teammate you are for considering what impact this will make.
Thank you for doing that for your team, Felicia.
Thank you guys for having me. It'll be great. They'll all love it.
That's awesome. So stick on the line. I'm going to get your information, and then we will contact you right after the show, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Felicia. Have a great night.
I'm excited to work with her.
That is awesome. I'm like almost tearing up hearing her. I'm like, this is going to be so great for them.
That's exactly right.
And for a team of people who, it sounds like it's their weekend.
Yeah.
They've probably worked hard all week, I'm sure more than 40 hours. And to look forward to something that gets to
sounds deserving.
Let their hair down, bond with their team.
Get to be a human and not just that role, that employee, but get to kind of, be present and humanistic in that moment. Yes.
Yay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh my gosh, I love this show so much. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue talking a little bit more about Epic Adventure Therapies, but also how you can get in contact with Nikki and what are some of the events she has going on in the community. Stick around.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com, engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon. I'm here with Nikki Treadwell. Am I saying...
Treadway. It's okay.
Have I been doing that the entire time?
No, you keep going back and forth. Treadway, it's fine.
Last time, I didn't even say the guest's last name because I hate when I do that, and I'm just like, we're first name basis around here. I'm sorry. Nikki Treadway.
Thank you.
Licensed mental health counselor with Epic Adventure Therapy. I'm getting fired after this show. And we're talking about some amazing things, this creative, out-of-the-box way to approach team building, relationship building, family bond building. Mm-hmm. This is something for everybody, right? Wellness as well. Just getting into nature is just good for the soul.
It is good for the soul.
So I am so thrilled. It made my whole week that we just got to give Felicia this awesome giveaway for her team. She works at a small nursing home, and she just can't wait to honor and treat her coworkers, her teammates, to a 3-hour adventure-based
team development.
This is so incredible. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
That's awesome, and I can see that. I see that you love what you do. Right? Again, we're so lucky.
Yes,
we're so lucky to love what we do. I wonder if you could share with us just some of you've talked about, and I'm specifically interested in when you ask someone to do something you know or you have an idea is going to elicit this fear response.
Yes.
Can you give an example of when you've observed that, and how did that look, and how did that turn out?
Yes. So we are big advocates of challenge by choice, right? So that everyone, it's clear that everyone participating in our activities are doing so by their own choice. They want to be there and they want to challenge themselves. That doesn't mean they always want to do the activity, but we put the power in their court, right? Because that benefits them none if we're forcing anybody to do anything. And every therapist knows that. So we make that clear from the start, which helps whenever we get to that point of asking them to do something scary.
Yeah.
We call that the stretch zone, which is where we kind of step out of comfort and we go into stretch. So this happens a lot. One example I have is we do some slacklining activities, which if you've ever done slacklining, you know that it is incredibly difficult. And I don't think anyone can stand on a slackline for the first time and be successful at it. So
I'm not even sure what that means.
A slackline? It is this, it's a type of webbing. It's a line that's tied between two trees and pulled very taut, and then you walk across it.
Okay.
That's the activity of slacklining. Now, what we do with clients is we use it a lot of different ways. We put it between two different trees. We'll have clients support each other walking across the slack line. Regardless, it's something that looks easy when you're standing on the ground, but then once you stand up, it becomes very scary, right? And usually the first person to volunteer is the risk taker, right? And then so they get up there and I could do this, and then they fall off. Then everybody kind of jumps into reality of, wow, this is very challenging.
Sure.
And we're going to have to work a little bit harder to be successful at this. And so one case I'm thinking of specifically, there was a client who was incredibly anxious. You know, the client that when you first lay eyes on him, you can see that he struggles.
Sure.
And he was unfortunately in a group with a bunch of people who were of the risk-taking variety and pushed and weren't as in tune to what was going on with him. And so, he watched his teammates struggle on the slack line, and some became successful, some did not. When it came his term, he stood on the slack line, and I stood there with him, and I helped him breathe, and I made him look in my eyes and repeat some affirmations, and then he ultimately decided not to walk across. And his teammates became very discouraging at that point, right? Like, why don't you do it? You can do it. Oh my gosh, just get back up. And so that's when we had to kind of circle up and really have a conversation about that's his space and his challenge, and if we truly want to help someone, what that looks like. And it was a great conversation. He still refused to do it, which again is okay. So that was an activity that we started with. We left the slack line up and we moved on to a different activity, and this was a multi-hour group. And so during breaks, I find that he would go back and stand near the slack line and touch it. And like whenever we encourage clients to take their space, right? Acknowledge the introverts in the group, and so go be alone if you need to. So he would go stand by the slack line and he would touch it, and I caught him sitting on it one time, and towards the end of the day, I kind of went over to him, and I'm, talking to him and just having conversations, not about the slack line. To wrap up the story, he ended the day by walking across the slack line. He wanted space. He eventually asked me for help and called one other peer over. This was after group was done. This was after we were kind of done with the day and everybody was packing up, and he did not want to leave without attempting. And he got up and he walked across it. And that was huge for him.
That's huge. That's awesome.
Huge for him.
Yeah.
He needed the space. He needed somebody to give him that cushion to explore and to process over time. And that was a big pattern for him. He had a lot of family dynamics coming into play. He was struggling with addiction. He had, ACOA pattern of being kind of forced into these situations and
feeling the pressure of all of that.
Fighting his way out. And that's exactly what happened. Once his teammates, who were intending good, started pressuring, he shut down. And
in ways that maybe they would respond positively
yes,
to. Everybody's
exactly.
different, right.
But that opened up so many channels for conversation. And we had I think that led into a topic of love languages and how we show love and how we nurture each other, and what works for you doesn't work for this person. And we all have our different journeys. And that was just a really big moment. That was a moment that once he got up and walked across, you feel your whole body start to tingle, and you see his smile go across his face, and he steps down, and he was a really shy individual, and he kind of looks down and he kind of looks up, and you want to run over there and jump and hug him. I didn't in that moment because he likes the space.
He wants the space.
He wants a space, but he wanted the eye contact and the nod, and that was huge for him. And he ended up coming back later, and he always talked about that. Like, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I did that.
Were the other group members around to see that? Or?
They weren't. I think what had happened in that moment, he had asked one team member to come over and myself to help him complete this activity. And I think they saw but did not interrupt, right? So they were respecting in their own ways.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they had kind of gotten accustomed to the way we were doing group and the way we were talking, and so they fell in love with that. Yeah.
Very cool. That's a great story.
I want to share this one really quickly because this is one of my favorites, but we take clients snorkeling a lot. We're in Florida. We have the water, and so snorkeling is one of my favorite activities to take clients. And I'm not a strong snorkeler myself, so when I go, I don't usually take lead. I go with support, but it never fails. You always have that client who is so fearful of the water. And having them go in step by step, right? The rest of the team may be out there, standing next to that person, holding that person's hand, watching them ease into this fear, watching the courage come up, helping them breathe. Sometimes we just go sit in the water next to that person, right? We just sit with. How important is that as a clinician, just to sit with someone? We don't even have to talk. Like, we're here. We're just going to be
holding
here.
that space.
We're going to hear the waves. Yeah, we're going to hold this space for you. And they always keep going because they want it. We all do. We want it. We want the connection. I know you talk a lot about connection. And I want to connect to this activity. I want to get what they're getting. I want to get what my teammates are getting. And they do. And it's really great to be able to help them do that.
That's awesome. I remember being in high school and being very, very fearful of, not necessarily stepping in the ocean, but seeing what was under. And my mom said, hey, we're going to the Keys, and I booked a snorkeling trip.
Yes.
And she wanted to give me a heads up, but for that month that I knew, night terrors every night. I was horrified of what I was going to see. But I went, and I knew her favorite thing was snorkeling. I'm like, okay, I want to do this with you. We can do it. I don't remember ever being so afraid as I was jumping in that water to do it. I was the last one back on the boat.
Of course. Of course, you fell in love.
Loved it. I loved it. I couldn't believe it. I can still see so vividly I could tell you the types of fish, the colors, everything that I saw. It's just, it is a whole nother world.
It is.
I was afraid of because I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
That
and it's
unknown.
Scary.
Yeah.
It is scary out there in the water
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, there was a 5-foot shark swimming right at him. No shark, but I don't know. I'm from upstate New York. I don't know.
So
No
it's big,
shark from a
huge shark,
hammerhead.
big shark, yeah.
I'm like, whatever. That's Jaws was going under me, but I loved it. So I can totally understand what you're saying as far as that fear.
Yes.
But also that appreciation. Yeah, that's incredible. What are some? Do you have community events coming up or things that are open to the community?
So what we do, as I mentioned, we operate mostly as a private practice, so people can call and schedule sessions. But we try to every month or every other month offer what we call workshops or retreats.
Great.
So what we have coming up actually is this weekend. So February 18th, this Saturday, we are having an epic couples retreat. So it is an opportunity for couples to come in. It's from 9:30 to 2:30. So it's a 5-hour day. So we do a full day. And it's really to help any type of couple. I want to say this, that it doesn't matter, your body type, your activity level, even if you can kayak, we're not looking for those super strong people to come to our, this is for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a couples retreat. Come in, strengthen your relationship, kind of get to know each other on a different level. Kind of deepen your understanding of each other, work on communication. So
that's awesome. And do you do these a couple times? Is this a one time only?
So this is the only one we have scheduled right now, but we tend to do stuff every month, every other month. That's the only thing we have scheduled on our calendar.
Okay.
Our Facebook page is the best place to check for what events. So we do an Epic Moms group, which I host. I blend my two worlds.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Where I let
That's
moms
great.
come out, but so we just had one in January, so we'll probably do another one in March or April. All of these groups that we do that I'm talking about, the workshops or the retreats, that we offer them for the community, but if any point anybody wants to schedule one, they can. So if you're a group of moms or a group of couples, say 3 or 4 couples, and you want to do something different for a weekend,
That's awesome.
then we can schedule that and work with like a private group like that.
I love that. And how can people get in touch with you all, find out about these things going on?
Yeah, so you can check out our Facebook page. You can check out our website, which is www.epicadventurestherapy.com. You can also check us out on Instagram, or you can call us at 855-5BE-EPIC.
Oh, I love it. And in the Facebook is Epic Adventure Therapy LLC, correct?
Yes.
Very cool. Nikki, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me, Bree.
I mean, I hope we can continue talking about this. Maybe you'll come back because I know there's so much more to explore.
There's so much more,
There is, absolutely. And I love your passion for it. So thanks again. Thank you so much for watching tonight. We'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. We hope you enjoyed today's program and discovered new ways to bring music, art, and dance into your home or workplace. Please find a copy of today's show at pbmti.com. If you have any questions for our guest or myself, please email me at Bree, that's BREE, at pbmti.com, or call the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute at 561-747-9944. Tune back in next week for an all-new live show. See you then.